Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, Daniel?
How you
Welcome
doing?
back. Welcome back to Don't Mind Us.
Welcome back to
Special
LFM.
edition.
What are we doing?
Collab. Special edition collab.
Oh man. So this one's gonna go on Latino Free Minds. So it'll be what, episode 106, and then we'll use it as a bonus episode for Don't Mind Us. If you haven't been paying attention or you missed it, we got two podcasts going on now. Latino Free Minds and Don't Mind Us. And Don't Mind Us is exclusively on Patreon. You get preview episodes every week, but you don't get full episodes unless you sign up for the dollar a month. Not too bad, if you ask me. So look at the links in all our bios, and you can catch Gio and Christian there, just you know, giving you the real deal.
Yeah, we currently I think we're at about 100,000 subscribers, but from time to time Daniel likes to go on there and update for the next 25 subscribers. You can get in for $1.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do it, guys. You
It's
want to
always good.
save?
It's gonna always be at a dollar. Oh man, but
Realistically, we're not making tons of money.
nah,
Um, I know I've said it before. If you guys are continuing to subscribe, probably in about 10 years, we'll be able to afford maybe getting a new microphone, just
hmm
one. Um,
yeah, we got to see who gets it.
it's probably going to be Christian. His wedding present. It'll be a little late, but
Paper, scissors, rock. but but no, man, how's everything been on Don't Mind Us? You with you and Christian. You guys haven't been on LFM for a few weeks now.
yeah, it's been good, man. There's some good. Dare I say the word chemistry? There's we have some good interaction, um, and we're known to be the ones on LFM that kind of sidetrack. So don't mind us is perfect for us. Uh, a lot of weaving.
Yeah. There is a lot of weaving. No, you guys do have some good chemistry. And then the funny thing is, again, if you're not tuning in to Don't Mind Us, is once you two get going, dude, like it's hilarious.
Yeah, it does get pretty funny. The problem is, um, Christian and I, we both we try to hold it together. We try to hold it together for about at least a minute. Um, but with the podcast gets started, the song starts. It's a little bit of Yeezy or Yay Kanye right at the
Mhm.
beginning, and it gets us hyped up, and we just get going.
Yeah,
And we live in a world where as soon as we start talking about anything in the news, it's just a clown show, and we join it. We get in and on it.
yeah. It's always good to have fun, right? I think people obviously there's things you gotta take seriously, but there's other things that people take too damn seriously that it's just you gotta chill out a little, have some fun with it.
Well,
Like,
that's the thing about Don't Mind Us, and even on LFM to an extent is, um, when you listen to a podcast, you listen to the media, it's always so serious, right? And it's so mm, extreme is not the right word. It's almost like uh, it's enraging.
mm,
Like I was watching Fox News the other day, and I noticed this with the pundits on there. They're talking, and the tone they have, they're angry, and I was like, "Is this what they sound like over on CNN?" So I switched the channel, and CNN is the same thing. Oh,
no,
Daniel
we're
just
good,
turned
we're good,
black.
we're good.
Uh, so I switched over to CNN, and I started laughing like they're doing the same thing.
Mm,
They're like enraged, uh like they're just so one side is upset because the liberals are crying and peeing on cars and scratching cars, putting poopy hands on cyber trucks. The other side's upset because Orange Man bad and he's
mm.
evil and he's got his guy Elon Musk ruining the country. It's just so extreme. So when me and Christian get together, we're just a couple of dudes talking about politics, and we just look at the facts, right?
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes we don't look at the facts. Sometimes we're just ripping on what other people are talking about, and that's fun. That's fun, and hopefully our viewers are like, yeah, that's what it feels like when I talk to people out there. That's
Yeah.
what we're trying to bring you. The
Yeah, for
real
sure.
take. The take on the street.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got my Stanley Cup.
Oh,
My
nice.
my my wife bought it for me like 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't start using it till the white ladies here locally started wear yeah, taking them to the gym.
Hey, bro, those cups are good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Uh,
They're good.
I have a Yeti,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't wanna be in here like, all the ice going up and down.
No, but no, for reals. We even Latino Free Minds, like in a sense, I guess we try to take like a more serious approach, but we still have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Latino Free Minds is fun. Uh, you know, I've been on maybe a handful of times, and my take as somebody who started as a viewer, it's fun. It's real discussion about current events. You guys have the saying, "Vote your reality." It's something that is to me it's eye opening because obviously when you I keep going back to this when you watch like a Fox News, a CNN, a MSNBC, they're trying to feed you a narrative.
mhm,
Whereas when you tune into LFM, it's just this is what's going on. You can go watch the news, that's fine, but we actually watched the whole thing. The
mhm,
little thing that they're arguing back and forth on different networks about Donald Trump, we watched the whole thing, and here's our feelings about it.
mhm.
And not just that, what's going on locally. You guys sit down with people from all over California, from the
Yeah,
north to the south. And the fighter series, when you guys have the fighters on, man, those episodes are dope.
yeah.
If you're not tuning into LFM, you you should be.
No, we're
Not
we
gonna
we're
call you mean names. That's what everybody was expecting. But I'm just gonna say you should be tuning in
I don't know, a little bit of "Don't Mind Us" might come out, so don't get offended. Um, but,
sometimes.
no, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I think, the goal has been to, like you said, talk about things in from our point of view based on, not just reacting to a clip, but seeing a full speech, a full whatever it was, right? Seeing the full clip in its entirety and then kind of making the decision of, okay, this is what I feel this person was saying, whether it's Trump,
Yeah,
whoever it is, doesn't matter. And yeah, if people just stick to the watching Fox News, CNN, and all that, then they only get little snippets here and there, and each of them are gonna present it in a way where it's gonna appeal to their base, right?
yeah, exactly.
And our base, I don't even know like what we would call it, but just we just want people to look things on their own, and is it a free thinker base or something like that? Whatever you want to call it, just or independent thinkers, just hey, this is what we see, this is how we see it. We don't know if you see it that way, but hey, at least at
Isn't
least
isn't
we're trying to
isn't
talk
that
about it.
isn't that the reality though, Daniel? When we talk about voting your reality and focusing on your reality, seeing what's really going on out there on the streets.
Hmm.
And when I say streets, I'm not talking about thug life ghetto.
Hmm.
I'm talking about your neighborhood, whether that's if you're in Reseda, California, surrounded by all the Armenians out there, or you're in Sacramento or Fresno, wherever you're at, whatever's happening locally to you, what's really going on, and how are things affecting your local area? Um, whether that's at the local councilman's uh, um, stage
Meetings,
or at
yeah.
the presidential level.
Hmm.
We want to know how it's going, and it's not. The thing I like about LFM, the thing I like about Don't Mind Us, is that we aren't pushing like a Republican narrative. We're pushing what we see,
Mhm.
right? Because, and I've said this um, almost every time I'm on here. I say I'm not a Republican.
Mhm.
I'm definitely conservative, and I definitely consider myself MAGA, because what's wrong with making America great again? But I'm not here to fight and slam dunk on liberals. If a
Yeah.
liberal wants to come on, by all means, come on. Don't try to come on and slam dunk on me and bring the bullshit.
Mhm.
Like, bring the facts, and hey, I'll listen if you're bringing facts. If you watch the whole thing on Elon Musk's interview with Fox News and his Doge team, if you watch the whole thing and got your notes, great. But if you could
Mhm.
just come on and talk about, oh, did you see what they were saying on Threads? Like, no, like, don't bring
Mhm.
the key points
The
that they're
talking
using.
points.
Yeah, the talking points.
Mhm.
Bring the facts and show me your point of view, and I'll show you my point of view. And I bet you they're going to be right there.
Mhm.
They're going to be right there next to each other,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, LFM, like you said, the Know
It's a
Your
free
Candidate
mind.
series, like
Free
we've
mind.
we've invited we've invited or we have open door policy, if you will. Any candidate, Know Your Candidate wants to come on and talk about what they're running on, they're more than welcome. But what we have noticed is when we throw that out there, we usually just get feedback or responses from one side of the aisle.
Yeah.
We've invited, you know, in a sense, a little jokingly but seriously, because we are we like to have fun. People from the Latino caucus in California. You
Yeah.
know, we've
Well,
thrown the invite, we've tagged them.
I've seen you
Nothing.
guys invite Gavin Newsom on,
I've invited that fool on, but
and he
he's podcasting. Why not? Perfect
yeah,
timing, no?
instead of coming on LFM, he went and started his own podcast.
Yeah, we inspired that. Thank you, everybody. Or no, or sorry. He's what?
However you feel about it. And that I watched his first episode with Charlie Kirk. Did
Yeah,
you watch that one?
I didn't watch it, dude. I didn't. Sorry, I didn't want to give him a stream. He didn't give me $1 yet, so fuck him. I didn't
He's
watch it, dude.
taking plenty of your dollars.
He is. Yeah. He could give me one
No,
back, one a month, Gavin.
so here's the thing. I did watch it. I
Hmm.
did not watch it through his media outlet.
Okay.
I watched it through Charlie Kirk's stream. So Charlie Kirk also released it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can definitely watch it there if you don't want to give Gavin Newsom the stream.
I don't.
It's an interesting watch, because we as Californians, if you're listening in Arizona, Texas, New York, you're probably thinking, who's this Gavin Newsom guy? Everybody talks about how great he is. Let us tell you how it is here on the streets in California. When you
Hmm.
we talk to people out there in the world, whether we know that they're liberal, conservative, somewhere in between, way on the other side, it's a pretty general consensus.
Hmm.
90% of the people that I talk to hate his guts.
Yep.
They don't like him. How he was voted back in after being recalled, I have no idea.
Well, we have an idea.
I have an idea, but I mean, I don't think, are we allowed to even say that the elections were rigged?
I think we are, right?
I don't think we're allowed to say it.
Well,
I don't think we can say that out loud.
what is that saying? The party that wins makes the rules.
I'm not insinuating anything, and I'm not spreading rumors. I am not saying that the
Allegedly.
California elections have been rigged.
Allegedly.
Those are rumors out there in the world. They're not my rumors.
Hey, but no, it's funny that you did bring up Newsom and the Charlie Kirk thing, because I didn't watch it, but one of the most shared clips that I saw people, you know, reposting or whatever you want to call it, was where he was talking about uh boys and girls, and boys
Yeah.
and girls sports and stuff like that, and how he was saying, it's an unfair advantage. So they recently, right, they made I believe, and I'm gonna kind of just read it off of this here. So they sent Gavin Newsom a letter, so the Trump administration, warning California that they could lose funds if it keeps allowing trans athletes and girls and women's sports.
Are we seeing
Uh,
it?
so he said, we're reviewing the letter, according to Newsom's spokesman, when asked for a comment. So this is from today. So his conversation with Charlie Kirk, and what he said there, when he said, I believe his word was, it's not fair, basically. So if a boy goes and plays, a biological male goes and
Da-
plays in women's sports, he said it
Daniel,
was an unfair advantage.
are you seeing your screen share? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. You don't see it?
I don't see it, but if you see it, let's go with it.
Yeah, I see it. Hold on, let me see if the people see it. The people see it. I don't know why
All
you
right.
don't see it. Okay. But so yeah, I was just reading basically a tweet that's sharing that story. Um so we'll see how he responds to this, right? Because
Yeah.
now federal funding is tied into, what are you going to do? You, I didn't like I feel like what Newsom is doing with this podcast and trying to talk to conservative big names, if you will, is, I think he's trying to make himself appear moderate. I think it's just a play. I don't think it's sincere. I don't find it sincere. You know what I mean? Based on his history, like you said, us having him here in California, knowing how he is, uh,
Do
you
do
know,
you,
no,
do you
mhm.
think he'll run for president?
I think this is what I think. I think this is a setup for that. I think he's trying to seem a little bit more moderate, little in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's why he did say what, get another Democrat to say that it's unfair to have biological males in women's sports. They won't do it. It's
I'm
it's a it's a small number, and they're not running for president. Do you know what I mean?
I'm
Unless his term is done, 2026, he's termed out. He can't be governor no more. He can't run again. Um, unless he just doesn't care and he's not going to be in politics anymore, which I find that hard to believe. I think he's trying to set himself up for 2028.
it is the next step. But my thing about Newsom, it, I guess I have two takes on this. One is I think he's had too many issues that if he goes to the national stage, um, it's gonna look bad.
Hmm.
But well, for example, the PG&E scandal, where he forgave PG&E for what happened in Paradise and the whole town burning down.
Hmm.
PG&E is still around, you know,
Yeah, and they're
um,
charging us more so they
and they're
can
charging us
recover.
more. Yeah, dude, for everything, gas. Like I was wondering, like, why do I owe money to PG&E? I'm supposed to get a bill once a year. Well, because they raised their rates, now they want to get paid for gas every month. Um,
Hmm.
my second take on this is that Americans have a very short term memory. So they will see the last 4 years of Newsom and think, oh, this is that awesome guy from that super moderate podcast.
Hmm.
He's the guy that had Charlie Kirk on. He had what's the guy's name from Warzone?
Bannon.
He had Bannon on. He had all these guys. He had Tampon Tim. So
All balls
sorry,
walls, like Christy likes
sorry,
to say.
sorry, all balls walls. He had Tim Walls on. So my point is, with Americans having short term memories, they're gonna think, oh, this guy is awesome. He's so cool. He's so moderate. This is what America's been needing. We haven't had this since Obama. No, he's playing a game. He's playing a
Yeah.
game, and
Mhm.
and we need to take notes. And in well 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, when he starts trying to run for president, we need to pull those notes back out and be like, hey, wait a second. Before you start thinking that this guy is moderate, let's show you his real track record
Mhm.
because people in California have gotten so fed up that he's taken a pretty blue state. And if you looked at the last election for Donald Trump, who is the other side of, you know, completely different,
Mhm.
he's a dark red, right? Uh, he is turning California red. Not Trump. I'm talking about Newsom. People are running away from the Democrat Party. I saw that the last 3 months. I think the Republican Party has just been killing it and signing people up as registered Republicans. He's good job,
Mhm.
Gavin Newsom. You're doing great for us. Good, keep up the moderate work, dude. That's a clip. Save it. Put it on Instagram.
Let me write the timestamp. 21 minutes in. Geo. No, but
Conser- Conservative Latino host of Don't Mind Us gives kudos to Gavin Newsom. Good job. It's
I
gonna
know,
be on
right?
Fox. It's gonna be on CNN, Fox News. Good job, Gavin Newsom. Taking me out of context.
Yeah, man. I think yeah, I mean, we know this dude, man. We know the reality of Newsom. We lived through the reality of Newsom. Um, and you know, I wouldn't wish that onto any other state, let alone the country as a whole. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't do that. Um,
I wouldn't say any other state.
yeah, man.
We
It,
got listeners out there like, please don't say my state. Please don't say Colorado. Please don't say.
hey, bro, Colorado's probably gonna make the next Newsom. You know.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that we have the way that states flip flop red and blue,
Hmm.
like Texas. We're seeing these new people. The black girl, Connor. What's her name?
Crockett.
Crockett. She's always doing her little TikTok dances.
Hmm.
She's hype, man. She's hype. She knows what she's doing. I don't think she'll go far in politics, but uh, for what she's doing, she's gonna maintain popular with the youth. Al Green, the other guy, Beto O'Rourke. What like I don't know what's going on in Texas, but uh, you know, I could see within 10 years California being maybe even red and Texas being blue. I don't. I'm just
Uh,
telling you guys, be warned out there. Be warned out there.
oh yeah, no, but to the point that you made, I think there's been over. I think the number I saw, and I could be wrong, so you guys could fact check this. Could mean you need to note to us or whatever the fuck it is you want to do. I think it was like a million uh, Republicans registered in California. Like the swing went like a million, which
Yeah,
is, I mean, that's huge numbers for California. Which, I think a lot of the times people are a little bit, not a little bit, they're a lot. What do you call it, demoralized here because
they are.
we are outnumbered, registered Democrats to registered Republicans. But again, we have our theories, and that's a whole nother thing too that I think happened this week was the executive order, right, with Trump and kind of the voter integrity, and we'll see how that plays out because I think that's also tied into funding, and a lot of people believe that California doesn't have legit elections. Not just us. There's many people that feel that way, and I really want to see how that executive order that Trump signed, how what effect it'll have on California, because obviously California, when the fires were happening, instead of using resources and what's up?
Hang on, Daniel. I'm gonna community notes you right now.
Ooh, shit. Oops.
I had to look it up because I don't want no bullshit out there. Not you. I'm talking about you know these these liberal listeners.
Yeah.
You're
What happened?
welcome on. You're welcome on. You're welcome to challenge Daniel here on the podcast. Um, so before the presidential election, between before the presidential election and today,
Hmm.
we're talking about October 19th. So this was just before the election.
Hmm.
We got about 442,000 registered Republicans. I mean, that's like the population of a city, and like it's
Yeah.
like the population of Sacramento or Fresno, San Diego. San Diego, not the metropolitan area, because I know somebody's gonna go, San Diego has 3 million people. Um, but uh, that's a lot of people. It is a
Yeah.
lot of people. People are changing their hearts.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I was saying, that's true. Well, you got the number. But what I'm
It's their
saying is,
reality. People want to vote their reality, Daniel.
yeah, yeah. And this executive order that got passed, like I said, I want to see what that does because, oh, what I was saying is California, when the fires are going down, they were setting aside resources not to help the people who lost everything, but to have money to file lawsuits against Donald Trump. So, what
What?
was it, 50 million? Remember, they went into session like 2 days after the fires
$50 million to fight Donald Trump?
in court. Yeah. Um, so that was in the middle of the fires, dude. Instead of saying, "Hey, let's," $50 million is a lot of money. Like when shit for me, you give me $50 million, thanks. That's a lot of money. Um, is it a lot of money to rebuild a whole city, a whole community? Probably not. But is it going to help a lot right off the bat? I would say it probably would. Um, and that's not what they were focused on. They were focused on setting money aside so that they can take Donald Trump to court when he does things that they don't agree with, right? So I'm going to assume that some of that 50 million they set aside is going to be used to fight this executive order with election integrity where, states are going to have their funding, some of their federal funding put on hold if they're not implementing things like voter ID or cleaning up voter rolls,
With the hood
which
immigrants.
shouldn't be it shouldn't be controversial. I don't know why demanding or expecting that only citizens of this country vote. I don't understand how that's controversial, you know?
It's not. It's really not, Daniel. The fact is, if if voter ID was required, realistically, it would I the effect on voting would be minuscule. I guarantee you, dude, you cannot drive your car to the polls without identification.
Mhm.
You you cannot go down to any store, liquor store, Walmart, and buy a cheap bottle of wine without ID.
Mhm.
Dude, you can't even go pick up your kid from school. Let's say that your wife or your baby mama usually picks up your kid from school, and now it's your turn. They will not let you pick up your kid without ID.
Mhm.
Even if the kid goes, "Yeah, that's my daddy." Like, nah, we never seen him before. We have to look at ID. So there's no real reason why we shouldn't be showing ID to vote, because we have to have ID on us.
Yep. So this is the I don't know if you're going to see the screen share, but I'm just going to read if you're not following, I would say on X follow Rapid Response 47. I think that account I think that's a what they're doing with that account I think is a great idea because we were talking about earlier about how the news manipulates the what's going on. They give you opinions instead of the facts. I like this account because it does, summarizes everything that they're trying to do. So the purpose of every executive order, of every bill they're trying to get passed, of what Donald Trump said, what the press secretary said. It really clarifies things for people. So I don't know if you can see the screen share or not on this one, but so the executive order that Donald Trump signed uh, for election integrity include the following provisions. It says requires documentary government issued proof of U.S. citizenship on voter registration form. So if I go register to vote, I got to show my ID. They got to know that I am a citizen of the United States. Conditions federal election related funds on states complying with the integrity measures set forth by federal law. Directs the updating of the voluntary voting system guidelines 2.0 and security standards for voting equipment, which includes requiring a voter verifiable paper ballot record and not using ballots in which the counted vote is contained within a barcode or a QR code, because obviously electronic stuff can get hacked. You can't hack a piece of paper. Directs the attorney general to enter into information sharing agreements with state election officials to identify cases of election fraud or other election law violations. Again, shouldn't be controversial stuff. Takes appropriate action against states that count ballots received after election day in federal elections. That shouldn't be happening. As Americans, as adults, everybody that votes is 18 or older. Okay. As an adult at that point, we have federal elections, what you want to call the general federal elections every 4 years. If you don't vote in the midterms, okay, whatever. But at every 4 years, I mean, you should, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people only think about the big election, the general election, when they're going to vote for a new president. That's every 4 years. If you can't plan to vote on election day with a 4 year notice, you know, I don't know what to tell you. So, like I said, this is the executive order that he signed, and I'm interested to see in a state like California where we are, with the questions that we have as far as our elections go, how it will affect that.
Realistically, in California, this shouldn't be an issue, and I'll explain why. In California, the Department of Motor Vehicles has started testing out um, being able to put your identification on your phone wallet.
Hmm,
So maybe you're the kind of dummy that leaves your wallet at home all the time, right?
maybe.
Maybe you lost it at the gas station pumping gas. I'll tell you one thing you won't forget is you won't forget your phone.
Hmm.
Nobody forgets their phone. So you in 3 years, I- everybody will have their ID in their
On
phone.
their phone. Mm.
Yeah, their driver's license will be on their phone
Hmm.
or ID
Yeah.
and or probably
which
both.
which yeah, the technology is just gonna make it so, the whole I don't have an ID thing, that argument just gets, smaller and smaller, because having an ID is it's so easy, dude. It's gonna be so accessible. Um, you know. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. We'll see how, especially for 2026 here in California. That's the next governor election. Um, as far as I know, I think Katie Porter announced. I believe that's her name. She used to be I want to say congresswoman for California, somewhere down in SoCal. Obviously, Chad Bianco has announced that he's running on the Republican side. Um, I don't know who else is going to run for sure, but two people I mentioned, they can always come on the show and let us know their platforms, because we are California voters and we want to know who we're voting for and why. We're not just going to vote for someone because of the party. It's like, well, let's see what it is you're going to do here, right? We'll listen to
Exactly.
everybody. There's
With the
been
chance
rumors.
with the chance of looking like an idiot.
Yeah,
Who's Katie Porter?
yeah. She was she was a congresswoman for somewhere in SoCal. but
Is
I
she
don't think
doing
she's in there. She
is
had
she
some
doing anything
kind of
special?
controversy. No, I think she had some kind of controversy. I would have to look it up.
Um,
Um, Maybe she called someone fat or something. Um, no,
oh,
I just I don't
really?
know what she did. I think it has something to do with words. But I'm not, fact check me. Community notes, please do your thing. Um, so her, Bianco,
Oh,
there's rumors of supposedly Kamala considering it,
she's a
but
Democrat.
yeah, she's a Democrat.
Mm.
But I don't think Kamala's gonna. I hope not, but I don't think Kamala will. I think right now, if you look at polls, supposedly Kamala is still the front runner for 2028, which is, again, I've always said it. Fucking Democrats don't learn, and you can see with the actions the way they've been acting. A majority of them, most of them, have not learned, and they're doubling down and they're sticking with their thing, whatever it is. And so I don't think Kamala is gonna run in California, but she could be one. That's a rumor. Um, so we'll see. I mean, it's in 2026. We got a full year and a half or so before election day. And we'll see who else announces. But this election integrity executive order and election day 2026, I'm just curious to see what's it going to be like here in California when we go vote next November.
It's yeah. If Kamala Harris, come on, guys, are we seriously gonna vote in Kamala Harris for governor?
I don't know, dog. I mean,
I at this point, look, if I had to choose between Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom, as much as I hate Gavin Newsom, you at least need somebody
I
in
don't
there
know,
that can
man.
win an argument. Gavin Newsom can win an argument.
Gavin.
Kamala Harris,
Oh man, I don't know, dude. I think that man, if somehow, some way, Kamala Harris becomes governor of California, I
uh,
don't, God, I don't know if I would stay here.
what is she gonna run on? I lost to Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I don't
Yeah, I mean,
know.
eh,
Oh, we're gonna have to change the subject, dude, because I don't like this where this is going. I'm getting
dude, if Kamala wins, dude, I might seriously consider, like, all right.
what are you gonna do, Dan? You're gonna move to Canada?
I'll fucking move to Canada, bro. Shit. No, I'll go somewhere. I don't know, dude. That's like, oh my goodness. Gavin Newsom's already bad enough, but to go from bad to worse, I mean,
Yeah.
geez. Talk
Oh
about
man.
demoralizing people. That would
I
demoralize a
couldn't
lot of
leave the
people.
state because my wife's family lives here in the state, and it would be really hard for her to separate from them.
No.
Me, if I left California, if I moved to Florida across the country, my mom would be so happy for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Nah, man, we'll see what happens. I
dude,
just
if I moved out to Florida, my mom would be like, "Finally, I can move to Boca."
mm, yeah.
She'll be, I'm coming too.
Shit, for
Um,
real.
but nah, yeah, I'm kind of stuck here until my wife can separate.
What
Dude,
what
let's talk
go
about
ahead.
Elon.
Yeah, yeah,
Look,
yeah.
hey, don't mind us. We are on a roll right now. We have been talking about Elon nonstop, and dude just did a sit down, Elon and Doge with Fox News. Did you watch it?
I did not watch it yet, but I have it bookmarked because I believe it's 30 minutes long,
It
and
is a long one.
I saw it. I saw that it the link
That's what
while
she
I was
said.
at work, and I was like, pause. I s I
I
saw the
said,
link. I
I
saw
don't
was
think you're
putting
allowed
in.
to set yourself up, but I did.
No, but go ahead. Imma watch it, but, what was your take on it?
You know what? It was really good and eye opening. I wish part of me wishes that it wasn't on Fox News because a lot of people because it's on Fox News, and Fox News is the only conservative outlet. Uh, a lot of people are just not going to tune in, right?
Mhm,
I wish that it would have came out on 60 Minutes, maybe MSNBC. It is what it is.
mm.
So him and his Doge team sat down with Brett Baer, and they were just talking about all the things that they've been doing, um, some of the things that they've been finding. I mean, we're talking about old systems in place, like computer systems. We're talking about the staffing issues that there are, like the number of CFOs in the health, the HHA or HHS.
HHS? Mhm.
Yeah, the amount of CIOs that they have, chief information officers, and it's just completely, it's just a complete mess. It's eye opening, and I really implore everybody that has not seen it yet, or because maybe they hate Elon Musk, maybe they hate Teslas, put your feelings aside and just watch it. See what they're talking about. If you're a taxpayer, if you just went to the grocery store, not the grocery store, if you just went to the corner store and bought candy and had to pay taxes on it, tune in because you got to find out where your money's going, how they're spending it, the things that they're pulling out. Um, I asked my assistant Grok to put together a summary of that situation. Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency aim to reduce federal spending by 1 trillion, targeting 4 billion in daily cuts, 7
Wow.
days a week. Waste and fraud. Musk highlighted astonishing levels of government waste and fraud, citing examples like a nearly $1 billion online survey as evidence of inefficiency. So this $1 billion survey, I have to pause here on this summary. This There was a survey that was put together that cost the government $1 billion. The way Elon Musk said it was the type of survey, the level of survey, the technology and what they used to put it out could have been done for like $10,000. Elon Musk is not an idiot. He runs businesses. He's got Tesla. He's got SpaceX. He's got the Boring Company. He used to have PayPal. Like this guy knows what he's talking about.
Mhm.
I know a little bit about campaigns because we do some things at work. But when he comes out and says $10,000, let's just 10 times it. Let's just say it was going to cost $100,000. Well, we as American taxpayers paid over $1 billion for this survey, and it turns out that the information they got from that survey, Elon Musk said this on the interview, the information they got from the survey wasn't even used.
Jeez.
$1 billion for nothing. I'll keep reading. Um,
Jeez.
sorry. So Social Security defense. Musk and team members, including software engineer Aram M, I'll call him M, refuted
M.
claims
Gassy.
that Magadassi refuted claims that Doge is harming Social Security, asserting their work will enhance benefits for legitimate recipients, reducing fraud. So this is to all the people out there that keep saying, "Oh, he's cutting Social Security. He's stealing our money. He's going to make sure that they cut our Social Security." No, he came out and a fun little fact that he talked about during this interview. Um, he talked about how Social Security, how the money is being distributed and used for having that service to the country. A few days ago he called it a Ponzi scheme because we're pouring all this money in, and only little money's trickling out. Well, he was talking about just in the customer service alone, like people call in to customer service. He said that the majority of phone calls to customer service are not people that are trying to get help with their Social Security. It's fraudsters that are calling in to have the money redirected
Mm,
to the fraudster. Fraudster being
nice.
somebody that's stealing your money, right? So this was just one example that he gave that on Social Security. Those are things they're trying to fix.
Didn't
When
didn't they didn't they I think remove, I want to say, over 3 million people that were over 120 or 130, something like that. So, yeah, they're not cutting social security from, you know, folks that actually need it. They're, to Gio's point, they're cutting fraud. How many people do you know that are 120 years old or older?
there's not many.
Yeah,
It's a
none.
big story when somebody turns 112 and we're like, oldest person in America, 112 years old.
Uh-huh.
Lies. That's a lie because we have somebody in the United States that's older than our country at over
Mhm.
300 years old. So media, cut it out.
Yeah,
We don't need
community
to
notes
celebrate.
the media.
We don't need to celebrate this 112-year-old.
No, there's a
Let
360-year-old somewhere out there.
hit me up in 280 years when he catches up to the guy that's the oldest American.
I
Uh,
might not be here, just leave a little Post-it note on my gravesite.
I'ma be here. I'm gonna be here. I'll be collecting Social Security.
That's if we don't run out, right?
One of my
Because
great 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 grandkids is gonna be collecting my Social Security.
there you go.
uh, The team introduction. Oh, so he introduced the Doge team. The interview featured 7 Doge staffers, including Steve Davis, the CEO of X SpaceX, or the ex CEO of SpaceX. Uh, Joe Gebbia, the Airbnb co-founder. Tom Cruise, actor. No, I'm just kidding. Tom Cruise, cloud software group CEO, and others showcasing a tech and business heavy lineup new to government roles. I mean, these are
Y
these are like real
yeah,
people. Like uh, these are real businessmen.
yeah.
These guys have real careers running massive companies. These are not politicians. These are not the bullshitters that you have coming on CNN and Fox News to talk about how Doge is doing a terrible job. No, these are real businessmen. They're looking at the finances. They're like, this is crazy. If any business, a public business, private business handled their finances like this, if an auditor came in, they would shut that down. That person would be gone.
Mhm.
But that it's fine for the government to do it.
Yeah.
Vision for government. The team proposed an Apple Store-like experience for government services, with Gebbia focusing on digitizing federal retirement records currently stored in a Pennsylvania mine to cut processing time from months to days. Come on.
Mhm.
Streamlining the
The government.
government.
Nah.
Wow. Revolutionary.
Why would we want that? The fuck?
Seriously, dude. Why can't we just leave life alone like it was in the 1960s? We want to make America great again, right?
Mhm.
Jeez. Timeline. Um, Musk as a special government employee, limited to 130 days. Come on, we gotta get him for more time. Claimed most deficit reduction work would be completed within this period, suggesting rapid overhaul. That's crazy. He only has 130 days.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
people are trying to ruin his businesses. He's only going to be there for 130 days. Is what, 5 months max?
Hmm. And I think though, and I think in a key point of the whole Doge thing too that people don't talk about is what I think when Trump set it up, he put the deadline of I want to say July 4th, 2026. So even if they're here till then, this isn't permanent. This is we got to find out what's going on with our tax money, right? What's going on with all these federal agencies, departments, all this money that gets allocated to all these things. And we live in the United States, we live in California. None of these things have been working in an effective manner for the people. Yet we continue to constantly take our tax money and putting it to, WHO. We put it into USAID that sends it to, we've already gone through where all that money's gone.
Yeah.
Social Security that's sending over 3 million checks to 3 million people that are over 120. Like, you know, I don't understand people being against this. I don't understand why people are angry about holding government accountable or auditing our own damn government. Like, what's maybe you can explain
Ew.
why people would be upset at that. I mean, I know why certain
Daniel,
people.
ew. You sound like a Tesla driver, dude.
I don't got one. Elon, you can send me one for free. You
You
know,
know what?
hey, I'll take it.
Before we go on, I just want to put a public service announcement in there.
Go for it.
I, I hate Elon Musk, right? I just hate him with a passion. And I feel like the only way we can get back at him, guys, listen, this is serious. The only way we can really get back at Elon is if somebody gives me their Tesla, like
Mm,
legally, sign it over to me, pink slip
mhm.
it, and I drive it around. And when
Yeah.
people see it, oh man, uh,
Look at Geo.
look at that
Where's
racist
Chrissy say?
Nazi. And then I
Yuck.
step out and they're like, ooh, wow. Ha ha. Got him. It's a Mexican driving a Tesla. Ha.
Yeah.
Can't deport him, Trump. Hey, I'm telling you guys, public service announcement, let your friends know I am accepting Teslas, preferably a Cybertruck.
Bro, the again, to me, a lot of the stuff that the liberals do makes no sense, right? Because there's that, was it a congressman that sold his Tesla to buy like a Chevy Tahoe, or I forget what
What?
the fuck he bought. But it's like the party that's about climate change and going all electric. Now they're buying gas powered cars.
So
Like,
stupid.
come on now. Like, you either about it or you're not. Why didn't he buy a fucking Chevy Volt?
In case you're one, I have not received any messages yet for the Tesla. In case you are looking for me, you can find me on X. You can message the show. Uh, Daniel, help me out. What's the handle for the show? Is it at the DMU Pod?
That DMU pod, or we have an email here. If you want to send your contact information to Geo, just send it at don't mind us at
Yeah,
leadunite.com or Latino Free Minds at leadunite.com, and just subject line giving you my Tesla. Just put Tesla, and we
yeah.
know
Just
you're
put
trying to give us
Tesla.
one.
We're gonna get back at them, guys.
Yes,
It's gonna go viral.
it
I
is.
promise you. I
It is.
promise you. And if it doesn't go viral, we still win, right?
And yeah,
We still
we
win.
still help you get rid of your
We still
Tesla.
stuck it to Elon Musk.
Hmm.
I'm telling you guys, this is gonna be big time.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me
Um,
continue on this. Let
yeah.
me
Go ahead.
continue.
Go ahead.
So, job cuts clarification. So Daniel was talking about Daniel was talking about this. Musk asserted basically no one has gotten fired,
I
despite
don't like.
reported mass layoffs. Example: 18,000 IRS jobs,
Should have been fired.
10,000 USPS jobs. That's the post office. framing cuts as efficiency driven rather than widespread terminations.
Hold on, Elon. I'm gonna stop you there. Those 18,000 gotta get the fuck out of here.
Wait a minute. The
It
18,000
should
that
be all.
Biden just hired?
No, Biden hired 80, 85, 86,
Oh,
84.
wow.
So Elon, that number, you gotta bump those numbers up. I thought we were gonna fucking eliminate the RS as a whole. Um,
Wait a
this
second.
this basically no,
He did hire 85,000
yeah, 85,000,
IRS agents.
and we're
How
only
many how
well,
much money did we bring in from those billionaires and the massive corporations?
I don't
Or
know,
were they going after the average American?
probably the average American. And
Probably.
Elon needs to get rid of some of these people here. And overall, Trump as a whole, we got to get rid of IRS. It's worthless. It's useless. People hate it. You know. Anyways, go ahead. I don't like that response.
Yeah, I get it. I see where you're coming from. Elon had this interesting take about the USPS, and he's like, we just need to turn that organization into a money making organization. Maybe even privatize it. If not, there's got to be ways that the post office can start to um, move away from being a burden on
Bro,
on
if
on the
if
American people.
Amazon can give me a fucking refrigerator overnight,
A fridge overnight?
well, dude, you know how many things you can buy on Amazon and get it the next day?
Yeah,
If they can do that, I mean, the USPS can get some upgrades, or we just let Amazon fucking deliver mail,
that's not a bad
privatize it, like you said. They
that's
already
not a
got the
bad
system in
idea.
place and they're fast, you know.
They are fast.
So I
They
don't know.
are fast. Public perception. The interview was a charm offensive to counter criticism and lawsuits alleging Doge's overreach, with Musk calling it a revolution, potentially the biggest since American founding. Notable absence. Amy Gleason, the official acting Doge administrator, was absent, raising questions about leadership structure, while Elon Musk was presented as the de facto head. Tech integration. Oh, so that those were little hater remarks on them.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
somebody was missing. You can't bring everybody. What
No.
was the the guy that the like 20-year-old guy everybody was hating on?
Oh gosh,
He was. It didn't seem like he was there. Maybe he was. I don't know. I'm
I
not trying to
forget his
spread
name.
lies.
Didn't he had a nickname? Something balls.
Something balls. I didn't want to say it. LFM.
Don't
Uh,
mind us.
Tech integration. The team emphasized bringing Silicon Valley expertise to modernize outdated government systems like payment and record keeping processes. That's an interesting one. I mean, they talked about HHS having like 170 different systems that needed to work together, and they don't work together. So it's
That's
slowing
crazy.
down. It's slowing down the advancement of health.
Yeah, just again, to me, if you're gonna say I'm gonna make our government more efficient, so that at least it seems like the money they're taking from us is working towards uh a government or a system that can actually uh respond quickly, work in real time, like, okay, at least do that, you know what I mean? If
Hmm.
you're not gonna stop, if you're gonna keep the IRS, you're gonna keep taxing us over 20% of what we make a year, uh, you know, probably close to 50% when you add up every single other freaking tax we gotta pay. Um, at least make it seem as though our money is going somewhere, and we get some, what do you call it? Get some value for the dollars that we get taken from us.
Yeah, seriously.
So
We had a comment from PH Christie earlier. Need ID for a doctor's appointment.
yeah, you do.
Sounds
You
like the
go you go
doctor's racist to me.
yep. You go to the
Jeez.
doctor, you need your medical record card and your ID, or else they don't know if they're treating you. But,
It's a little
can't can't go vote, right?
it's a little bigoted.
Yeah. Here, I'm a because we're coming up on an hour. I think you got some stuff to take care of with the fam and all that. But I just want to ask you a question with the
Mhm.
deportations and these judges. Obviously, these judges lean towards the left. They're liberal judges. They're, some would call them activists.
Yeah.
Gio, what I want, somebody, maybe, hopefully, again, open door. Anybody want to come? A judge leans to the left, that agrees with some of these decisions. What benefit is there, or what is the? I don't understand what good comes from stopping gang members from getting deported.
I
What
I
is
I
the? What is the? What's what's the benefit? I don't even know what to call. Like, what? Why would we fight so hard for that? As someone in the judicial system that's supposed to be upholding laws, which, obviously our constitution. What has anybody asked this judge or these judges? You know, is this just virtue signaling, which more than likely just is? But again, they can answer. But what justification do you have to say, no, we have to stop these gang members from being deported? I understand if they would have been like, okay, they put out a ruling that says, we can't deport kids under 10. Let's just say that, right? Let's just say, if you want to play the whole emotional thing and virtue signal and sound like you're doing something nice, yeah, we're gonna stop we're gonna issue these rulings that say you can't deport kids under 10. You know what I mean? Like, why would you go to that same level with gang members? Just I try to make it make sense.
are you looking for me to
And
contradict you?
no, I don't know if maybe I'm missing something. Is there something I'm missing where a gang member needs to be saved by the judicial system here in America when he's here illegally committing crimes? What is the need to save that person and keep him here?
I think there's a lot of information that we don't have on the situation. Um, I what I believe is that the way it's been explained, at least, is that we took these people that ICE just decided were gang members and they need to be sent out of the country. Venezuela didn't want them, so we can either send them to Guantanamo Bay or we can send them to El Salvador because the Salvadoran president has made an offer. He's pretty much let the American government know, if you need to send your prisoner somewhere, we got
Hmm.
space. I think the concern is that we are pretty much convicting them to a prison in El Salvador without due process. This is where I go to, do we really have all of the information?
Hmm.
Because they're in custody already. Uh, what I would like to see is, maybe instead of making rush movements like this in the middle of the night, maybe put uh select get a bunch of judges together,
Hmm.
whether they like it or not. I'm sure they're going to be upset to be reassigned, and reassign a group of judges to processing these um, these criminals,
Hmm.
right? Because they haven't been um, convicted yet, right?
Okay, so
So they're
but
alleged criminals, which, I mean, can you really go against it? Because they're all tattooed up with the Tren de Aragua tattoos. Like, nobody's pretending to be in Tren
that,
de Aragua.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But hey, if we have to give them their due process,
Do we?
because I don't.
If it's an
Yeah,
illegal immigrant,
There is an
Okay.
amendment. There is an amendment that could be bent towards protecting them.
Mm. But if they're here, my thing is if they're here committing crimes, it's already known they're committing crimes.
Though
Here illegally,
he,
do they need due process or is it just no, the law says you're here illegally, you get deported? Isn't that how it's always been
gee,
for years?
it's so difficult. Uh, and this is I've sat on this for a few days already because originally I was
Mhm,
like, just yeah, send them to El Salvador's prison.
mhm,
Here's my thought on this after sitting on it for a few days. They in the United States you do need due process, right? When you're being convicted as a criminal, you know,
mhm.
criminally convicted. If you're going to be sent to a prison, whether that's Guantanamo Bay, whether that's um, some sort of holding wherever El Salvador, wherever they're wherever they're going to be sent, they do require due process to be convicted as a criminal. My thing is, if they're illegal and they're picked up, maybe they're being deported or exported because they're illegal.
Yeah.
Isn't that a thing? I mean, I was born in the United States, but I have people up my family tree. I won't say who. I have people up my family tree that were here illegally, and I remember as a kid them getting picked up for maybe like a drunken disorderly or something else. You get arrested, you're at county jail, and because you don't have citizenship, you're on the bus to Tijuana.
Mhm,
There's no like questions about it.
mhm.
So I, things have happened in our government that have changed the processes. They've gummed up the system, and what really sucks is we have. m- I mean, is it millions now, Daniel? People that have poured in during the Biden administration?
I believe it was. I think it's an unofficial number because the Biden administration wasn't really counting everybody
Yeah.
officially. I believe they estimate what 21 million.
Holy moly! I was gonna say, well, let's be conservative and say hundreds of thousands. However
Wow.
many it is, right?
Mhm.
However many illegals that are in this country that are getting processed for for being here illegal. They're taking away from the people that are trying to get their visas here legally.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're gumming up the system. When you're talking about 21 million unofficially,
Mhm,
that's crazy. They'll
mhm.
never if somebody
And
from
and
Mexico City that went to university, uh, became a scientist or a doctor, and decided, you know what, they need my special area of work in the city of San Francisco. San Francisco University is doing some amazing thing. They need me. It's too bad, dude.
mhm.
We're we're processing everybody before you. You can't come in. Maybe
Yeah.
that dude in Mexico City was supposed to be the guy that cured cancer.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't do it because we're trying to clean up this mess
Or we
from the
can't do it
last.
now because this judge said we got to keep these Tren de Aragua members here.
Yeah, we got to give them due process, so we can't just deport people.
I mean, you want my opinion? I don't know if this is extreme, but I don't believe if you're an American citizen, yes, due process. If Gio, you got arrested for whatever,
Yeah,
you know, jaywalking, and they say, hey, we're gonna send Gio to Gitmo. Okay, yeah, you need some due process because you're an American citizen. Let's see if that you know punishment fits the crime, so to speak. If you're here illegally and they got records of you, because here's the thing: there's a lot of people that are being targeted right now, as such as those gang members that have been arrested already while being here and not deported because obviously the previous administration was not focused on that. So if you're here illegally, you've already been convicted of several crimes in this
yeah,
country while being here illegally. I don't think you it's a you deserve to be sent either to a prison because a lot of the crimes committed have been, for lack of a better word, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah,
I
if
think
if they were convicted, if the evidence stacks up, or if they were previously convicted and deported and they ended up back within less time that they should have served, because sometimes we send these guys back to a certain country. I won't name any countries because I don't want people to get offended, but we send them back to certain countries. That country gets them. They're like, we are not going to waste the money to um,
Mhm,
uh, put them in a jail for a crime they didn't commit in this country. Like, just
mhm,
yeah, yeah, you're free. That person goes, okay, somebody in the United States, maybe a brother or a cousin, a friend, send me some money. I'm coming back.
yeah,
And then we catch them again here, and we're like, dude, we just convicted you of uh, uh, robbing a vehicle, or we convicted you of domestic violence,
mhm,
and you should still be in jail in X country. What are you doing here? At that point, it's like El Salvador. Like, if your country can't have, if your country is not gonna take care of its citizen that committed a crime, yeah, dude, send them to El Salvador.
yeah,
Yes, it's on our dime. We're paying for it, but it costs less than Guantanamo Bay.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I think
there's
I
a lot
think
of
it's
things.
something. Yeah.
There's
Go
a
ahead.
lot of things when it comes to immigration that, because we live in California, right?
Mhm.
Chances are we know people that are here illegally. Whether we know that they're illegal or we just, I mean, they're probably illegal
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
we know people that don't
But
even speak English.
again,
Work
like
hard.
I've said this before though.
Yeah.
Me growing up as a kid, I always knew also that if you were here illegally, there's a chance you get deported. That's like it's part of the package. It's part of the deal. Um
Yeah.
there's always that chance you're going to get deported if you're
I
here
mean,
illegally.
yeah, it sucks,
Sucks, but that's
but
you want
the
reality, that's the
the
reality of it.
reality is there are laws in this country.
Yeah.
We have to abide by them. Um, you know, you just apply for a visa, apply for residency. I
Yeah.
mean, if you don't have a criminal history, just apply. Go through the process. I know it's expensive. I know it takes time, but don't just sit on it and run the risk of everything being ripped away from you.
Mhm.
And now everybody's emotional, everybody's hurt. Maybe you have kids that live here, maybe you have friends, maybe you have a church, and it's so emotional, right?
Mhm.
Just, man,
Yeah.
just get the process going on trying to become legal, right?
Yep.
Man, it really sucks. I mean, for me, it's an emotional topic because I have friends, I have family members, not immediate, but family members that I that their citizenship or their status in the United States is questionable, and it sucks. It sucks because I don't want to get that phone call like, "Hey, fulano de tal," or so and so got is gonna get deported on Monday,
Yeah.
and we're putting money together to bring him back, or whatever. It's like, man, are we gonna keep playing that game? Can we bring him here legally? I mean, that's just my thought. I mean, otherwise, keep flying under the radar.
Yeah.
You know, don't commit crimes because that's gonna get you caught. Don't hang around criminals because that's gonna get you caught. That's gonna get you deported.
Yep. Well, we'll see. A lot you know,
Yeah,
to see how everything plays out and all that. Immigration isn't an easy conversation, but I think there are certain instances where, you know, it's an easy
yeah,
decision, you know. But, we'll see, man. We'll see how everything stacks out with everything in general, right? Um, but you know,
Hey,
for now,
the government is moving fast.
yeah,
It's nice to see that the government is finally moving fast, and it seems to be hurting a lot of people's feelings. Oh well.
yeah,
you know, you
yeah.
know, when people are like,
We
"Do
dealt
you
with the
regret your vote? Are you happy now?" And it's like,
yeah,
"Yeah,
yeah, we
we
dealt
wanted the government to do something." And in fact, I'm not happy because executive orders are just going to get wiped out in three and a
exactly.
half, 4 years if a Democrat wins. No, I'm not happy. What I want is for the other people, the congressmen, the our
Mhm,
representatives in the House, our representatives in the Senate. I want them to get off their butts and start making some laws that are going to benefit the United States.
mhm,
I mean,
exactly.
the Republicans have the House and the Senate. What are they doing?
That's
We
what I
don't
told.
hear we don't hear
That's
them
what I
doing
told Danny.
anything.
That's what I told Danny on one of the first episodes after Trump won. It's like I'm not worried about Trump and what he wants to do. I'm worried about the politicians in Congress, in the Senate, that are gonna fucking make things harder than they have to be because they got their personal agendas. So that's what I'm worried about. And what Gio said, all you politicians out there, get your shit together because we dealt with 4 years, the slowest 4 years I think imaginable with
Yeah,
Biden in office. Now we've gotten 2 months in, and these 2 months feel like 4 years. And sometimes it's like, well, what is our, you know, representatives doing? What are they doing? You know,
yeah,
there's they got to get it together, and
yeah.
we'll see what's up.
And the last time I was on the LFM, the everything was still new. And you know what? Now prices are starting to come down a little bit. Eggs are starting to come down, and uh, it's starting to get a little bit better. It's I know it's not fast. I know there's a lot of people out there like, man, I'm still paying $12 for a dozen of eggs or an 18 pack of eggs, and it's like, well, look, the prices are not going to fall as fast as the Tesla stock is falling. These things take time, um, but hopefully, um, things continue to trend the way that they are,
Hmm.
and prayers for me are that it goes down quick because I want to have I want to feel like I did in 2019. I was feeling rich in 2019,
I
man.
just want to keep my money. Could we just do that? Can
Yeah,
people just keep the money they work for? You know,
dude,
can we do that? Tax? You
I
want
want
to
to be
tax me when I
2019
buy
rich,
shit?
Daniel.
I guess, but can I keep the money that I fucking made on my own, and then I can decide what I want to be taxed on? Could we at least fucking do that?
Yeah,
That's all
dude.
people want. Just people want to keep their money.
Yeah, I don't mind paying taxes
I do at
if
this
you're
point.
not pissing it away. I no,
And they
look,
are. See, that's
I
the
get
thing
it.
though. They are. They're
I
pissing
get
it away.
yeah, I get this thing about abolishing taxes and everything. I understand that. What a dream. But the reality is we're in too deep. We have to pay taxes for certain things. And uh don't squander my money away.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
you don't need to take as much money from me. Obviously.
yeah, if you're just wasting it, then you don't need 20%. Maybe you only need 5. I don't
Hold
know.
let's hold the government accountable the way the government holds private businesses accountable.
Yep. Well, all right.
On
Well,
that, God bless you all.
peace be with you,
Peace be with you.
and we'll
Oh,
catch
hey,
you
and
on
by the way, Daniel, can you share the website for the merch?
ooh, for the merch. The merch
Yes, sir.
is on
Because there
it's
is a beautiful "Peace be with you" shirt on there.
oh yeah, the Teespring. It's let me I'll look it up right now. Uh
If anybody's following Daniel, I highly suggest if we can put that link on our Instagram or X, and if you guys can support by buying some merch, please do. I bought the collab we did with the Free Thinker Army, LFM
Okay,
Free
yeah.
Thinker Army.
Yeah, I got
Is
that
a nice
one.
is a nice one. Um, I think next time I come on, I'm gonna save that one for when like Matt Kim comes on um,
Or
but
Peter.
or Peter. Really nice stuff. It's actually good quality.
It's on Teespring for that one, and we also have a Sticker Mule. Um, I think Sticker Mule is where I put up the Free Thinker collab one. The quality on Sticker Mule is
That's right.
is
That's where I
is
got
on
mine.
point. Um,
Sticker
but
Mule. Yeah.
if you go to
Are we able
the
to just post it on? Can we move it from Teespring to Sticker Mule? Like all our designs?
maybe I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, there's a way to do it.
Because Sticker Mule, it's an American company, isn't it?
Yeah, they send
Yeah,
out free
and
Trump stickers to everybody.
do they?
Yeah, they did. I don't know if they're
uh,
still doing it, but they did.
that's where I got my gear from, and it was actually really nice quality. I was
Yeah,
impressed. Yeah, if you can show some support by buying some merch or sign up for the Patreon and get some good content. We do give Don't Mind Us the first 35 minutes ish. We do give it away for free, but it gets juicy after that.
yeah,
It does get juicy.
yep.
So
So
yeah,
join the Patreon. Don't mind us. Uh, Again, I said earlier, if you guys got any questions, you want to send us your Teslas, we got the emails too. All that stuff
yeah.
is if you find Latino Free Minds on Instagram, X, or
Remember to reference my name first,
yes.
because not only am I Mexican, but with his beard, I kind of look Muslim, right? Kind of,
Oh,
it's like a double-edged dagger to
yeah, you're
Elon Musk. Like, yeah, got him,
got him.
Eden.
Uh, with that being said, man, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace out.
Peace.